firing a chapel right now, you'd yell, fire! You'd help everyone exit. You'd call the fire department, grab a fire extinguisher. Your senses would be focused like a laser. You'd put your entire self into emergency mode. Climate crisis is now an unprecedented emergency. The biggest national security, public health, moral, and social justice threat of all time ever. Who says this? NASA says it. The Pentagon says it. The Union of Concerned Scientists says it. The United Nations scientists say it. The World Bank says it. Humanity is careening towards the deaths of billions of people, millions of species, and the collapse of organized civilization into wars over food, water, and resources. But there's an inch of geological time to save civilization. States under severe climate stress, such as Syria, which suffered a 12-year drought in its farmlands, started a revolution. The revolution broke out and failed and was infiltrated and invaded by different warring factions, bringing chaos, violence, and misery to the region, and instability in Europe. Wars over resources, food, water, are already happening worldwide, while fossil fuel corporations engage some U.S. government officials in denial to keep profits high. Our political system is convulsing with oligarchic corporatocracy. We need emergency action to avert catastrophe. According to top climatologists like Dr. James Hansen of NASA and the Union of Concerned Scientists. But all the technology already exists to save us. Only the political will is lacking in our country. Other developed countries have no debate about climate change as human caused. Germany will be fossil-free in a couple of years, despite China and India producing record levels of carbon pollution now, as the U.S. did. China and India are producing more green energy jobs than the United States. Our country put the most greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and such gases take a century or two to dissipate. Humans have created a carbon dome of pollution in the delicate, thin veil of Earth's atmosphere that surrounds Mother Earth. The sun's hot rays cannot reflect into outer space enough through that carbon dome. Instead, the hot sun's rays are deflected down onto the glaciers, melting them, and onto the oceans, warming and acidifying them. We will face extreme weather now for the rest of our lives. Like the record-killing heat waves in India, Pakistan, England, and Arizona this very summer, causing many, many deaths. The droughts in California and Africa, the increasing wildfires in California and Australia that exacerbate pollution, but there's still an inch of geological time to save the young, to give authority for what I offer here. I tell you, I've studied with chief climatologists. I've been invited to give talks on climate justice around the country and locally. For the UU Community Church, where our friend Eric attends in Midtown, the Unitarian Universalist Women's Retreat on Long Island, around Massachusetts this spring, and on public radio. The fact is, we Earthlings cannot survive unless we get carbon and methane emissions down to 350 parts per million of Earth's atmosphere. But we are now polluted with more than 400 parts per million. We have to get it down to 350. That's why Bill McKinnon calls his environmental action organization 350. But we're up over 400. We're close to the tipping point of no climate correction possible. That doesn't mean everything will die at once. Don't be angry with me for telling you this on this hot morning, because if there's a fire in the chapel, you have to yell fire, or nothing will happen to save lives and save suffering. Poor communities and indigenous peoples of color, especially children everywhere, will suffer the most and first. Those who did not create the problem are suffering the most. We need an emergency strategy for the green world to rise quickly enough to save the young. The educated young know this. That's why they joined in a huge people's political revolution. Nobel laureate poet of Poland, Gioseffi, included in my American Book Award-winning Women on War, a global book for peace, which has been in print for 25 years. This is what Gioseffi said in her poem, Children of the Epic. We are children of the epic. The epic is political. Oh, my daily and nightly affairs, oh, your daily and nightly affairs are political affairs. Whether you like it or not, your genes have a political past. Your skin has a political tone. Your eyes a political color. What you say resounds. What you don't say is also politically significant. You walk with political steps on political ground. Apolitical poems are also political. To be or not to be, that is the question. Oh, darling, what a question. Give a suggestion, a political question. You don't have to be human to acquire political meaning. It's enough to be petroleum, cattle fodder, raw material, or just a conference table whose shape was disputed for months. In the meantime, people were killed, animals died, houses burned, fields grew fallow as in distant and less political times. Climate crisis has been politicized in our country more than anywhere else. We Americans bear a bigger responsibility as citizens of the country that put the most lingering pollutants in the atmosphere. Our country has been moving more slowly to address climate crisis than developed nations like Germany, Norway, the Netherlands, France, and Kenya in the forefront of renewable energy. Ithaca, New York, and Burlington, Vermont are totally green energy right now. We could go green quickly if only the political will were there. Homegrown ExxonMobil is under investigation by 17 state attorneys general for knowingly hiring scientists and politicians to lie about the dire consequences of continuing to burn coal, oil, and gas. Our New York State Attorney General Schneiderman leads the investigation. Investigative reporters who unearthed the evidence to initiate an indictment of Exxon are right here in Brooklyn on Court Street, our own Brooklyn Pulitzer Prize winning global climate newsletter, InsideClimateNews.com. It's free. You can go to it. You can read what's happening around the world every week. InsideClimateNews.com. That's something to be proud of, that magazine exists right here in Brooklyn. Corporations like ExxonMobil, Shell, BP, Koch brothers have known for over 25 years from their own scientists that fossil fuel pollution is a threat to all life on Earth. But instead of developing green energy industries for their profits, they continue today to spend multi-millions hiring politicians and scientists to try to lie back. That's why millennials go to alternative online media like Democracy Now!, EcoWatch.com, or Inside Climate News for truth. The major networks, greatly funded by coal, oil, and gas commercials, rarely link extreme weather to climate crisis emergency as they should. So if you're watching those major networks and you're not aware of the emergency, it's not your fault. You're not being told the truth there. Our commitment to stewardship of the earth must now take priority. It affects all other social justice issues, from environmental racism to our children's right to a future on Mother Earth. Nothing can be accomplished for Black rights, women's rights, gay rights, Muslim rights, or children's rights without a livable planet. It's a big economic issue as well. Teenagers all over the country are using the United States Constitution to sue local, state, and federal governments for the right to live into their future. DefendOurFuture.org will tell you these young people grasping for the right to a future have been recently awarded favorable decisions by state judges in Oregon and Massachusetts. That's good news. Our commitment to the stewardship of Earth must take priority. Great feats can be achieved, as they were during World War II to defeat the Nazis, when FDR retrofitted the entire country in a war economy within 2 years to help defeat the evil Axis. All the technology exists to save us now. What's sorely needed now is political will. That's why our motto in the climate justice movement is to save everything. We need everyone now. So whether you're a marching or a civil disobedience type of activist, or a telephoning, letter writing, educating, emailing sort, there's work to be done by all of us to help the green world to rise and save our Mother Earth's sustenance of life. What we need is a coalition now of all the social, environmental, and green faith organizations, like the young people are right now forming with the ClimateMobilization.org. ClimateMobilization.org. It's not just a matter of recycling our individual garbage or composting and putting solar panels on our homes or buying more green wind energy for our apartments or eating far less meat, though all of that is utterly important. But it won't suffice alone. It's a matter of demanding taxes on carbon emissions. We need funding to transfer ourselves to a green economy. And that funding, all the climatologists are saying, should come from taxing carbon emissions. That's something you can call your representatives about every day, complain about, because the fossil fuel companies have been dumping their garbage into our air, our very life's breath, for free, for years. And they often don't even pay any taxes. 40% of our children now suffer asthma from the pollution of fossil fuels. 40% of kids. We have lung disease rampant, and these fossil fuel companies are paying nothing for our healthcare systems. This is the reality. They must be made to pay to save the lives they're destroying daily by putting profits before people. They could be developing green energy for profit. Mother Earth's air conditioning glaciers are melting exponentially faster than was predicted. Her oceans are bound to rise now, no stopping them, and are acidifying, killing barrier reefs, sea life, and seafoods that many poor countries depend upon. Farming of livestock and meat consuming is a whopping third of the problem of climate destruction due to methane from livestock, meat processing plants, clear cutting of rainforests for grazing. Forests are the lungs of the planet in atmospheric balance. We all know that trees give off oxygen and soak up carbon dioxide. How many of us are aware that one hamburger costs Mother Nature 60,000 gallons of water? That's from Al Gore's book, A Plan to Save the Climate. So when we talk about not eating meat or eating far less meat, It isn't just sentimentality over the lives of animals and the cruelty toward animals, which is also important, but meat eating and farm animal livestock are producing a third of the problem of climate crisis. That's a lot. So it costs Mother Nature a lot every time you eat that slab of meat or hamburger. It costs her much more, and I feel her great pain. I feel her nurturing ways leading us. I feel it every day. That's why I work so hard in this movement for free. I never take money for my talks or for my eco-poetry website where I educate. All of that money goes to the movement. When that grief is felt, it motivates. I join the divestiture fossil fuels movement with millions of other people across the globe, and the good news is we've removed over $2 trillion from coal, oil, and gas stocks. Pope Francis, with Laudato Si, has taught us the connection between climate, environmental racism, and poverty. The Dalai Lama and Buddhists understand, as does Bishop Shora of the Episcopal Church, Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa, Rabbi Lerner of Takun, and our own UU Reverend Anna, as well as Keith Ellison, our first Muslim in the U.S. Congress, Native American environmentalists Deborah Parker and Winona LaDue, and UU National have all committed themselves to divestment and the climate justice movement because they know it's an economic, health, and social justice emergency affecting all in a world where now 1% of the global population owns less than the 99% of all of us, owns more. 1% owns more than the 99% of us combined worldwide. That's obscene. All the wealth is at the top. And the corporations aren't paying taxes for social services. Emergency mode is contagious. The climate movement is now advocating for a World War II scale, FDR-style climate mobilization. The People's Climate March, September 2014, which I, among others, helped organize, we had 400 environmental groups marching, 500,000 people marching in the streets of New York past the UN Climate Summit talks. It wasn't enough to make our federal government devise a clean energy transition as good as those in Germany, Norway, Kenya, Ithaca, New York, or Burlington, Vermont. The current U.S. administration, and this is shocking to hear, but the current U.S. administration has drilled for more oil and gas than in 40 years. It secretly issued, without much press, hundreds of more licenses for drilling in public lands and offshore, as the need to save life is to keep all the fossil fuel in the ground now. We cannot afford to drill and then burn all the reserves for it. That's it, game over. So that's why the motto has become, keep it in the ground. And you can find all about that at The Guardian, which is one of the best nationally distributed newspapers on environmental issues, The Guardian. Right-wing politicians continue to deny climate as human caused. Yet if the climate reaches a point of no correction, it means a slow dying off from lack of water, food, resources, much suffering of unprecedented magnitude, unbelievable magnitude, such as we're already seeing with the climate refugees of Syria, the Philippines, the Pacific Island, Africa. 5 million climate refugees are expected worldwide soon. Should we not be yelling fire? Are you angry with me for saying fire? We need to say fire everywhere. That's why the whole movement is going into emergency mode. Individuals and nations can respond to emergencies with reason and dedication and amazing success. We humans are capable of amazing success. As when FDR mobilized the entire United States, retrofitting all the industries and factories within 2 years to defeat the Nazi threat. couple of years, 2 or 3, maybe all that's left to hold back climate change from the tipping point of no correction. So whether it's making calls to officials or messaging or writing to representatives to demand taxes on carbon emissions, whether it's marching, whether it's educating, whether it's demonstrating or committing civil disobedience, there's something for everybody to do. Imagine if everyone in the United States called their representatives or wrote a message taking a few seconds every day. What difference it would make? Imagine if we made climate crisis activism the conversation wherever we go, as the environmentalists are now suggesting we do. This is the biggest social and moral issue ever. Nothing can be accomplished for all our other social issues without a livable, solvent planet. Extreme weather is already costing multi-billions of dollars, from flooding superstorms, tsunamis, earthquakes, from hydrofracking, poisoned water aquifers and rivers, droughts and wildfires are occurring worldwide in the hottest summers in climate history, costing trillions in damages. Already this year, we've seen West Virginia experience the worst flood in its history. Floods in England, prolonged wildfires raging in California, Australia, droughts in Africa. We've seen Hurricane Sandy cost $65 billion and rising. We've seen Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana, over $75 billion. Science tells us we'll experience extreme weather for the rest of our lives, even if things seem peaceful around us today. Even if you're thinking, well, July is always a hot time of year. It isn't that things just rise like that. It's that they go up and down, but over time the curve rises, and the earth is hotter than it's ever been. Over time, the curve is rising. So women's rights, Black Lives Matter, gay rights, Muslim rights, and most of all, children's rights depend on fighting climate crisis now. To save everything, we need everyone in emergency mode. Personal gratification can come from joining the climate movement mobilization and focusing on the joy that could be achieved if our green world rises fast enough to save life for the young. Every day, I think of Mother Earth as one large, living being, Mother Gaia. We've seen her from outer space, one big, blooming woman. We're all born out of her sapphire globe, gleaming with frothy white waves and brown and green of forest and farm. We saw her and life recognized life. She emerged flying from the sun's explosion, spun herself into roundness, so to rotate endlessly, journeying around the sun. Primal being, without mouth, legs, arms, she sails around the sun, spinning us through days into sleep-filled nights. Her moon creates tides on her watery surface. Hospitable regions of her land birthed many organisms. And finally, the ones with consciousness, we, earthlings, who issue from her, we, individuals, all of us of every color, her global community. We, all of us, her children, we, dependent upon her atmospheric balance and photosynthesis, fostering multitudinous varieties of consumable vegetation. Spewing lava, molten glass from sand, burning, acrid, smoking, it seemed that Gaia had no future. Who would have thought that from her roundness she would birth so many beings? Who could have guessed that from her flaming, hot Come, be her celebrant. Hope with me that our children, born of her womb, will live with her breath, breathing with her trees in symbiotic balance, bathing in her cleansed waters, trampling together, earthlings suckled by her full-breasted bounty of brown earth and blue-green waters, our only teardrop of love and laughter afloat in endless dark space.